Hey guys, today we're going to talk about some combining like terms problems, specifically these two examples. So when we're combining like terms, it's always important for us to identify and know how to determine what are like terms. Like terms always have the same variable configuration. Now a variable configuration means the same actual variable or letter with the term, and that variable has to have the same exponent. So for example, if there's some number that has an x with it, it can combine with another number that has an x with it as long as they are both to the same power. So if one is x squared, the other is x to the third, that's a no-go. Those can't combine. But if both of them are just x, then we're good. So let's take a look at these problems. Number one has x plus 0.9x, so we're getting some decimals here, plus 0.45. So here's the deal. We have three terms. How many of these three terms can combine? Two of them. This is an x term. This is an x term. Both of them just have x to the first. Can this combine with them? No, because it doesn't have an x. So what we want to identify is how do we combine them? We want to figure out how do they go together. Well, to combine like terms, you always add the coefficients. A coefficient is the big number in front of the variable or in front of the letter here, right? So what's the coefficient in front of this term? 0.9. What's the coefficient in front of this term? That's a little harder question, right? Because we don't see anything written there. But we know when there's not something written, that actually means 1. So we have 1x and 0.9x. And when we want to combine those terms, since they match, they have that similar variable configuration, we can add their coefficients. 1 plus 0.9. Well, that sounds to me like 1.9, and then the variables will stay the same, x. Since this can't combine with anything, it stays just like it is, and it'll just get written right on the end here, 1.9x plus 0.45. When we take a look at this second problem, we have a few more terms, but it's not really asking us any more than it was before. We want to identify what are our like terms. Which terms have the same variable configuration? Well, we have this negative 4x right here. Is there any other terms with the same variable configuration? There is. Negative 6x. Both of these terms have a x, and it has the same exponent on it, meaning just to the first, because we don't have one written there. Apologies for the bell. Now let's take a look at these terms. Are those like terms? They actually are. They're just whole numbers, but neither of them have a variable, therefore they're able to combine as well. So let's go ahead and combine them. Negative 4x, negative 6x. We want to add the coefficients. Negative 4 plus negative 6, well, that's going to make negative 10. So we have negative 10x. Now let's look at our other matching terms. 5 minus 7, or 5 plus negative 7, however you want to think about that. Well, 5 plus negative 7, that's going to result in negative 2. So our expression after combining those terms is negative 10x minus 2. Just like our expression after combining them in this first problem was 1.9x plus 0.45. So you always want to look for those matching variable configurations, or an easier way to think about it is just look for the ones with the same variables and go ahead and add the numbers in front of them together to get our combined term. If you have any questions about that, feel free to drop them below. Otherwise, I'll see you guys next time.